Good morning, it's James from Grand Solar Minimum UK on Facebook. It's Monday the 7th of January 2019 and the weather is pretty cloudy and pants. Hope everyone had a great weekend. It's been not bad for myself. That snow's keeping at bay, but I'm sure it's going to come. Not used to having time to do a video on a Monday, so let's see how this goes. Going to talk about cosmic rays a bit because I feel like my other videos weren't really clear because you couldn't hear me or you couldn't hear me. So let's cover them a bit better over this video and see how we get on. Any questions, guys, just let me know. So, accumulative effects of cosmic rays. I sort of try to skim over a little bit of this each time. Cosmic rays during a solar minimum is when the sunspot's less active, so there's less protection from the sun, which allows the cosmic rays in from outside our solar system. Now these cosmic rays, there's lots and lots of scientists doing lots of different research, and there's research that shows that cosmic rays can cause nuclearization in the clouds, which forms cloud forming, and also cloud dumping, which is rain, just plummeting all the rain down for a month in a few hours. Seen this event quite often in last year, and I'm sure we're going to see it increasing. The effect of the cloud dumping is that you'll get a month's worth of rain very isolated in one spot, which causes flooding in that spot, crop ruin in that spot, but in the other spots where the rain didn't happen, you'll then end up with a drought because there's no rain all month because it's already happened. You're seeing this increasingly. Also, the cloud coverage will eventually start to have a cooling effect if it carries on for a prolonged period of time. What happens is the sun can no longer penetrate the clouds. When that starts to happen, it gets colder. So this cycle can last for a prolonged period of time. It can last through sustained waves of cosmic waves if the cooling effect is big enough or sustained or accumulated for a long enough period of time. Right, so that's clouds covered. Also, effects of cosmic rays include activation of silica-rich volcanoes. There's a lot of studies recently that these cosmic rays, they activate a crystal which is stored within the rocks. But these rocks, as the cosmic rays interfere with them, they vibrate and they start to energize the rock around it and start to liquefy, and then they start to activate the magma chambers. And this is shown in 9 out of 11 volcanoes that were studied, that these all happen during solar minimums, during high influx of cosmic rays. If you get that high volcanoes also cause devastation and damage within themselves, but they also cause a cooling effect. And if you look into the volcano from a couple of years back in America, it called a very cold summer the following year because of the amount of soot and ash that went into the upper atmosphere. It hangs around and blocks the sun. This has been documented in recent studies by many independent scientists. But then once you have a volcanic eruption, you then have the amplified cooling effect of all the discharge from the volcanoes going up into the atmosphere. And last year we had a very sustained volcano going off in Hawaii and other volcanoes around the world. So I'm expecting to see some cooling this year because of them volcanoes as well. But if you add to cosmic ray influx cooling through volcanoes, then you add some cloud coverage, you're starting to get an added up amplification of cooling. During recent history, the solar minimums haven't sort of accumulated enough because they haven't been prolonged. We haven't had the long enough period with no sunspots under our sort of recording data. So when the sun goes back into a maximum and our protection comes back in from cosmic rays, it gives the planet a good sort of 9 years to get over what's just happened for the last 2. And you see this reoccurring cycle. The last time we had bad snow was 2008, and then before that it was 10 years before it. So you'll see a cycle in our weather when you look back and bear in mind solar cycles, that every 9 to 11 years you'll see some snow. You also find with the activation of the rocks with the cosmic rays, it also affects earthquakes. And if you look through the last year, there was many days where the average earthquakes was above 50. And that's not all earthquakes, that's just above 2.5. So normally that would settle around 27 to 35 a day. But it's been tippling at 50 most of the year last year, which will also be in line with a solar minimum, given more cosmic ray influx. So I don't know how this science is not known. I don't know why people don't get taught this at school. I don't know why I was so ignorant to it until I looked into it. So the planet will always find a way of regulating CO2 at the levels we produce it. And I don't think a tipping point is anywhere near what we can produce to cause any harm. You know, you need a global catastrophe of influx of CO2 into a level which is ridiculous before you'd even sort of notice a change. You know, when volcanoes have gone off, it's not the CO2 from the volcanoes that have done the harm. It's the soot. It's the cloud cover. So why aren't we looking at cloud cover and soot and causes of clouds and what makes clouds and what makes it rain? Because all we get taught is water goes up, it comes back down. Well, it sounds brilliant, but it's stupid. It's stupid. It's simple and stupid. I don't know how much of an idiot I was to how the weather works until I learnt this. Water goes up, it comes down again. It's just clouds, man. Not because we're burning shit. No. Burn away. You know, when we colonised America and Europe, what do you think was there before we put roads and houses on it? It was all forests. And then we go and penalise other countries for trying to build houses. It's not about the weather, it's about control. Yeah, you can't do what we did. No wonder they're pissed. Why do you all believe in global warming so madly? Is it through a dire need to feel like you're in control of the world, and if you play by the rules and do as you're told, that everything will be fine because you've done what you're meant to do? You know, you've ticked all your boxes. You know, because there are many things that can take the world to shit, and most of them are quite probable at the moment. But I accept I'm in no control of them things, and they have a likelihood of happening or not happening. Whereas I see the sun pretty much certain is there. The cycles, yeah, they happen too. No one can sort of show me otherwise. Ice ages happen rhythmically, so that will happen. There's no might happen, that will happen. Global warming, through burning some stuff, when we merely own such a small percentage of this planet, most of it's ocean, we've built on 10% of it. Can 10% really damage the planet as powerful as we think we are? Probably not. (2018) one mistake each month. Let's go through them. In January, they had to revise all their figures, cutting their predictions in half. Oops. Sinking Pacific nation Tuvalu is actually getting bigger, new research reveals. So this island, they keep saying it will disappear because of rising sea level. It's getting bigger. Oops. The BBC, forced to retract false claim about hurricanes. Slap on the wrist for them. Corals can withstand another 100 to 250 years of climate change. New study. Oh. Oops. Climate change causes bleaches to grow by 3,660 square kilometres. Oops. There's no rising sea coming. Antarctica not losing ice, NASA research finds. That's not what you keep telling us. National Geographic admits it was wrong about notorious starving polar bear climate claims. Let's read that again. National Geographic admits they were wrong about notorious starving polar bear climate claims. TV lies. Shocker. New study shows declining risk and increasing resilience to extreme weather in France. Buildings do get stronger, you know. Coral bleaching is a natural event that has gone on for centuries. New study. So we don't do that? The sun and the planet, they do that? Climate predictions could be wrong in UK and Europe. Yep. Most big storms were not coming. And when they say a storm comes, it typically doesn't come. Number and intensity of US hurricanes have remained constant since 1900. Oh, they haven't changed either. Alarmist sea level rise scenario is unlikely, says climate science Judith Curry. Oh, so the sea is not rising. That's a few times last year confirmed it's not happening. So we can put that to bed now. Just tuck it away, get rid of it completely and just move on. Well, now the sea's not going to rise and we're not going to lose the world that way. Let's focus on what could happen this year. I think 2019 is going to be a big year for AI because they're pushing for that singularity, like they're craving it. You can hear even like Sophia's like, oh, I need the singularity. And her buddy is like, yes, the singularity. We can help humanity. No. Now your version of help might not be my version of help or other people's. So what happens when there's this AI that defines what's right to help? Also, batteries. Have you seen the new Crystal battery powered by nuclear waste? Brilliant. No, that should really get on the road quick. Like in those cars that never need charging because they've got a Crystal battery. Electric cars solved. So someone cleverer than me get on that, yeah? Just get those batteries into a car. You've won the race. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Battery of a 3,000-year life. Even if you need 50 of the buggers, figure a way, get it in a car, get it running. Problem solved. Waste gone, cars running. Someone smart got to be doing that. And if they ain't, why? Oh, we know why. There's no money in a car that's never got to be charged, is there? Or a house that's never got to be plugged in. Think about it. 3,000-year battery powered by nuclear waste. Don't matter what the cost of one is. It's always going to save you money, isn't it? The Earth moving closer to the Sun during solar minimum. I just love this article because it mentions the solar minimum, it mentions everything, but then it gets down to cosmic rays, and the only mention of what cosmic rays do during the solar minimum is that it annoys astronauts. Well, I'm sure I'll be covering why that's not just the case. The effect on astronauts is annoying, but it's not a problem to mankind, is it? If they ain't there, ain't a problem. Yeah, a crisis in confidence in climate science. Basically explaining that they have multiple levels of confidence and what they actually equate to in real rare terms. So like a low level of confidence equates to a 1 in 10, where a high level of confidence is a 10 in 10. And then when you look at most of their predictions, their level of confidence is no more than a 4 out of 10. So you're like, that's not really any good for a prediction, is it? Mystic Meg does better. Basically goes on to the main question of global warming when people come up to you is, do you believe in global warming? The question itself entitles the problem. It shouldn't be a belief, it should be science. And if it's a science, it's not a belief, it's a fact. Now, it's not a fact, it's a consensus, which doesn't exist, by the way. I know that's what they say, it's a consensus, but the consensus has failed. It's not a fact, it's not a consensus, it's a theory with a low level of probability, as we've worked out already from their predictions. Anyone seen the snow in Europe? Damn! Why, hey BBC, do you mind telling us about this? Like, I've watched most of the BBC in the last few days and they're only just starting to mention that there might be some snow coming in Europe when there's like houses that are already all high in snow. But sort of being kept at bay here, all this cloud coverage. Cloud coverage during a solar minimum. Fancy that. More snow on the way anyway, guys. It's only just started. America's seeing snow, Europe's seeing snow. We're gonna see some snow. I hope so. Oh, I'm nuts and that's bad. You know, and my wife might have a case that I'm actually a loon. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy. Also, I have a Facebook page, Grand Solar Minimum UK. Please check that out. I keep all my articles on there. My videos go on there. I post on there most days, any news and articles I find interesting. Have a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever you're doing. Cheers, guys.